I went to go see the film Sinners yesterday, and I love vampire lore. I love movies, books, TV shows about vampires. I love Michael B. Jordan, but I have not stopped thinking about the symbolism behind this movie since yesterday. I was texting with my friend Amanda Seals, about it, and I was just like, we need to talk about this. There's just so much here. The movie is getting so much buzz, and rightfully so, because I think we are so starved for original art. I mean, they just keep remaking things and sequels to movies, and it's like the moment we get a creative, imaginative art piece that speaks to the culture of this moment, we're all like feral for it. So the director, Brian Coogler, also directed Black Panther and Creed, also amazing movies. And he's had this long partnership with Michael B. Jordan, who plays twins in the movie. And he left a lot of things in the movie kind of unsaid and undefined, which left a lot to interpretation, which is also why the neural pathways in my brain was like, like connecting the dots. And I think the buzz is due to everybody having their own interpretation of the symbolism behind this movie. And I mean, this is just like tickling my Mercury in Pisces, because I'm like, oh, they showed vultures, and vultures are carrion animals. They symbolize death, but it's also speaking to culture vultures. Having vampires be the monsters, the creatures, was so symbolic and embodied as a white Irish man. So in 1932, Irish immigrants came to this country as indentured servants. They weren't even considered white at the time. And when Sammy starts singing and playing blues music, which transcends time in that epic scene, by the way, you must see this in IMAX because it shows the expansiveness of all these scenes. And that music ultimately draws people together, but it draws in evil, demonic forces like Remick, the head vampire, and how it's an allegory of how Black culture, Black music is consistently co-opted, stolen, and then erased of all its original meaning and roots. Remick even says that he wants to bite Sammy so that he can absorb his experiences and his connection to the music so that he himself can connect to his ancestors. Personally, I believe the overarching theme of this film is about spirituality and freedom. Are any of us truly free in a white supremacist capitalistic society? And Annie, the hoodoo healer who was doing root work and she was connected to her ancestors, she was the only one besides the Choctaw Indians in the beginning who knew how to protect herself and protect others in her community. Also, if you know vampire lore, you know that they cannot come in without your permission. And as an energy healer, that's how everything works. It works through invitation and permission because we all have free will and we all have choice. So it's also interesting to see which characters invited these energies in and which characters said no, like explicitly stating a boundary. I'm going to do a separate video of the astrological transits that Ryan Coogler was going through as he was downloading this idea for this movie, because he really does explicitly state the timeline of the inception of this movie, when they started filming it, and also all the things in his life that he was going through at the time that inspired this film. I know a lot of people are wary of watching this movie because it is categorized as a horror film. And I just want to say that I don't think it's a horror film in the way that you think. I think it's a horror film because of the United States being our horror story. What could be more of a horror than founding this country on the genocide of indigenous people of Turtle Island? What could be more of a horror story than the enslavement of people from Africa? Or even what it's continuing to do now with bombing innocent people all over the world. That is the true horror story.